Hey, what's up, y'all, and welcome to another Take One review where I will be reviewing this time No Time to Die, the newest and last James Bond movie starring Daniel Craig in the lead role. And accompanying him in this movie, returning in their roles, is Naomi Harris, Ralph Fiennes, and Léa Seydoux, with newcomers Lashana Lynch and Rami Malek. And this movie revolves around a retired James Bond who is just living his best life with the woman of his dreams, when the past comes knocking hard, pulling him back into the line of duty to stop a disastrous attack that will bring forth the death of thousands, if not millions of people. And I can say I really enjoyed this movie. This movie plays on more the emotional side of James Bond as well as just the situation that he's caught up in. It's very emotional and it's kind of the most vulnerable we've seen James Bond within this Daniel Craig Bond franchise. This movie has a very dark and somber tone, and even in watching this, it feels like a finale type of movie because it is both for this franchise and the actor who plays Bond. And the action is great from head to toe. I enjoyed every bit of it, from the first action scene all the way to the last action scene. And you can't go into this just completely blind of the other films. You have to have at least seen Spectre, the movie that came right before it, just to kind of get some of the things that go on in this movie, because it has a lot of references to it and it just really has a lot to play within the plot. And I do like the new characters from Nomi, played by Lynch, the new 007, and the exchanges that she has with James Bond, because she's the new 007 and he's retired. So it's kind of like a little thing that they have going on with each other all throughout the movie. And even to the action scenes, to her personality and the charisma that she brings to the role, I really did love seeing her on screen. Enough to where I would be very curious to see her in her own movie as the 007 agent and see how she does on the missions within her own story. To even the character Paloma, played by Ana de Armas. And even though she does have a short presence within the film, it is memorable. She comes across kind of like Halle Berry did within John Wick, where she just comes in, she whips ass, and she's likable, and she leaves, leaving you wanting to see more with this character. And Safin, played by Rami Malek, is a decent villain. He doesn't do too much in this, and about maybe, if I could calculate it, maybe 1/3 to almost half of the film, as he is kind of pulling the strings of certain events that are happening. I do like the motivation that was given to him, but I don't think that his presence and his character is truly memorable after seeing this film. He didn't make as big as an impact that I thought he would. It is kind of a little bit disappointing. But as far as Craig, he's still great as Bond. And like I said, he's more emotionally damaged than before. I mean, he still is tough guy, but he's still kind of not the Bond that we've seen in the prior films. The action is ridiculously satisfying and super enjoyable. And the fights are good, rather with guns or hand-to-hand combat, is well choreographed. It does have some predictable points. There's certain things that happen that you can be like, that's gonna happen, and it happens. But it doesn't overshadow everything else, leaving us with nothing to really get from it. And it is a lengthy 2 hours and 43 minutes, but for me, it really didn't feel like it. I was into the story so much that I really didn't feel like I was in the theater for too long. The pacing flowed well, and I didn't feel antsy watching the film like I wanted to get up out of there. It felt like it was the right length. You could probably say that it probably could have been cut down a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like even if it was cut down a little bit, it still felt like it was like the right length. Because in the pacing, it does take time to develop certain things, but it does have some good payoffs. It has some nice cinematography. The film looked incredibly beautiful. The sound design is nicely produced. And even though I was into everything that was going in, I wasn't too much enthralled into the plot line concerning the villain fully, as his plan has been used for in countless films, actually in a lot of films lately. And it's very repetitive, but it works in certain aspects. And as far as the ending goes, I liked it, but I am conflicted in my feelings about it, but not in a bad way though. And it does have some twists and turns, some predictable, some unexpected, and it does have some rewatchability to it that I would not mind sitting in the theater again for almost 3 hours rewatching this movie, because I felt like it was just that damn good. As far as this film goes, it's not the best in the Daniel Craig James Bond franchise, but it is kind of up there over a couple films at least. I really enjoyed it, and if you are a big fan of the Daniel Craig franchise films of Bond, then you're more than likely going to end up really enjoying this. I thought that they did good with the way it ended, as well as just how they kind of utilized James Bond and just everything within this story. Certain things, like I said, didn't fit right, but overall it was a highly enjoyable film. So my recommendation, definitely go check this movie out. And so that has been my review of No Time to Die, the newest and last Daniel Craig James Bond film. And so if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you are subscribed but then hit that notification button, go ahead and hit that notification button, and I will catch you guys on the next one. So peace out and stay safe.